And we're back, and you are listening to Villaincast, BJJ Antiheroes, with myself, Chris the Villain Pains, and Naki El Jefe Arshed. And welcome to Reap the Week. Firstly, a thank you to our sponsors, the lovely patrons on Patreon. Thank you for believing in this work, and if you'd like to learn more about supporting this channel along with receiving exclusive content such as the new episodes of How to Defend Everything 3.0, along with personal coaching, you can find out more via Chris Payne's bjj.com. It's been, 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks.
I don't know, time is a flat circle. Yeah, but I was prepared. I had other guests available and released those episodes whilst I was away, and I think it worked out, and it meant that we can dive into some stuff now. I won't ask if you've watched them or listened to them. They were good.
No, I do. I do watch them.
You're a busy guy.
I don't watch them all, but I watch some parts of them, yeah.
I've got on some fantastic guests soon. Not that you're not fantastic, but there's some interesting. You're also interesting. I'm not going to sound good. There's some other people coming on.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, no, I enjoy doing this. This is a lot of fun. I love that we get to do this. I've actually missed this because, so I've been in Europe for a couple of weeks. I did a seminar in Radolfsfeld. It's literally just above Zurich, just over the Swiss border in Germany. Did a fun weekend camp there. Then went straight over to the BJJ Globetrotters camp in Heidelberg, and it was mad. It was the busiest one they've done there. I think usually it's about 230 people, and this year was 315. It was just, there was like 40 black belts. It was
damn.
It was a heavy few days. But we had Josh McKinney and Steve Hordinsky on. In the meantime, keeping the podcast going, and yeah, so we didn't have a chance to do this. Did you miss me? Did you miss this? Did you miss Reap the Week?
Of course, man. Of course, I like Reap the Week. It's a good time to sit down, chat some shit, talk some sense if we can.
Talk some sense. Well, I think it's one of the benefits of having the Discord channel as well, is that there's always questions and ideas coming through that we then get to talk about. And it was fun as well. Like a shout out to Benny and Tomo. I met them at the Heidelberg camp, and apparently they listen to all these podcasts.
Nice.
It's weird now meeting people who are fans of this. We actually get like a decent number of listeners every week. I was checking some numbers somewhere. I don't know the veracity of them, but it was saying about what's good numbers for a podcast. And not just in the BJJ world, but in the podcasting world. I think we're in the top 10% of listened to podcasts.
Yeah.
Which is utterly insane that we're just sitting here chatting shit weekly and people are listening. So to anyone out there listening, thank you. It's a lot of fun doing this. And yes, say hello if you ever see us out on the road.
Yeah, always.
I think I'm in Europe again. I've got a camp with Sven Groten in Switzerland, beginning of September. Then I'm in Georgia, in Tbilisi, end of September. And then Munich for the Artemis camp in October. So there's a few. I'll be away around Europe, and if I'm always available if people want to get hold of me. I imagine you're going to be out on the road at some point as well. We'll stick you out on the road, Nak.
Yeah.
Time for you to go spread the good word.
I haven't planned anything yet, but I've got to avenge my loss first, and then we'll talk travelling after.
Yes. And we can talk about that, because I think it's good talking about wins. It's also good talking about losses.
Yeah.
So, yeah, would you like to just go? Well, yeah, it happened whilst I was away. What happened, Nak? What? Give us the rundown.
Well, everything was going good. I had a good warm-up. Everything was good. I can't complain about anything, but then I did something I don't usually do. I haven't done in training, and then I ended up being stuck in a Kimura.
I watched the video, and were you going for a berimbolo?
I don't know what I was going for, mate. Like, I've tried to watch it a million times, and I'm thinking, what are you going for there, kid? Like,
so Naki had a super fight whilst I was away, and Yeah, you looked in decent nick. You'd been training well. Everything's been going so well at the gym. And the fight, you looked dominant. You looked stable. The leg lock, the Longton Dandelion, or the Texas Cloverleaf, whatever you want to call it, looked good. You did look like you lost a bit of composure, maybe slipping for the next heel hook when you didn't get it. And then, I think... I don't know how to describe it.
I don't. I watch it nearly every day thinking, what the hell are you doing there, kid?
You're being on top, you're doing all the right things, and then it looked like you're going for some sort of from top side control berimbolo.
Yeah, and then I think he's kind of rolled he's come out of turtle, and then I've left my arm in there. I should have just stood up like we usually do anyway in training. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, you went a bit deep on the turtle.
I think I got excited.
That kind of scramble.
And I think because I thought I was dealing with him how I thought I can just bide my time and play around. I think that I didn't take it seriously after a certain point.
Yeah, he looked like he was a good guy. He snatched that really fast. Like your arm was in there, and he went for elbow.
it. Yeah.
Yes, but lessons.
Yeah, lessons learned.
Good. That's all that matters. And so you got when's your rematch? October the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We'll prepare for it.
We have been preparing for it. We have been.
So I had a lot of fun whilst I was away. And I went with the intention of just doing one thing the entire camp and just playing with it. And that was balance and being on top. That was it. It kind of goes into a couple of questions we've had in the Discord. So one was about tripod passing and Damien Meyer's approach. Ryan Hall went into detail about it as well. And again, it's all kind of like the same conversation we're having of remaining in balance. And tripods are very stable structures. And, Ryan put it really well that when you make a tripod, or whenever you're upright and stable, if you're to make a tripod of your body, you only go over the edges. You don't go over the corners. Same with if you make a rectangle or a table of your body, you only go over where there's a missing limb. And so I think the idea of tripod passing is it's not necessarily passing, and that's one thing we've been working on since I got back, is just staying stable and upright and being aware of where your base is your shadow between those corners, and your balance is where you're sitting in that shadow of that tripod shape. And I think it's also really important of posture, because I think when you've got your head dropped and your arms are maybe locked out or whatever, it's easy to get triangled because you're on one hand or kimura'd or something like that. So I think posture's massive. I think it goes into that bigger conversation of you think you learn jiu-jitsu by learning more techniques, when in fact just doing balance repeatedly makes you better.
No, I felt the difference. I've been doing it. I did it again today at the open mat, and they were fucked, mate. Like they didn't have an answer. Like anywhere I turn, anywhere I try to put a knee in place, or anytime I go for an attack, it's just you're there and I can't move, and I'm like, oh, I like this.
Well, that's what I was playing when I came back and we had a go on Monday, is that I thought I just want to keep a leaning pressure on you and a balance, and no matter what you did, it wouldn't affect my balance. I'm not consciously trying to pass. I think if I became more desperate,
you'd give up things.
I'd be more... Yeah, exactly.
Which is what I was hoping for. I thought if I could move you a bit and get you excited, I can create a scramble or create some gaps that I can start doing things from. But it was bad.
Yeah, and there's a lot to say about that. As in, I think maybe having the black belt and thinking that I don't need more technique, or knowing that I don't really need more technique, but I'm not using any techniques when I'm doing this. I'm not like doing headquarters or knee cuts or anything like a new technique, I'm just thinking, right, stay upright, stay feet connected to the ground so I can generate some forward pressure. Inhabit the space so you don't have any. Keep my balance, keep my posture. Like, I'm always aware of my hips and my back and my neck, and I'm always making sure that I'm hinging at my hips and never at my back. And that's been quite a lot of with fixing some posture issues, especially if you start like maybe because there's a few times you went for my leg, like just making sure that I don't allow you to twist me up. I'm keeping everything tracked.
About that.
And keeping that balance. It then kind of defeats anything you can do for jiu-jitsu after that. As I don't feel I could teach anything now. Because there's no point. As in, we suck as a sport so bad at balance and posture. Like, we get told it on day one, stay upright, keep good posture, and then you kind of forget it because you just keep learning techniques. Then circling back around, realizing this is all you actually have to do. Just this, repeatedly. Master this, and then techniques will just come.
Yeah. Mate, since I've got my black belt in January, I just want to throw it away. Like, I don't know. I honestly think, sit there sometimes thinking, I don't deserve this. Like, this is bullshit.
Tell me. Well, that's one of the follow-up questions that has come up on the Discord. Is it was one of the hi Benny, is from Australia, like, listening to this. I've looked at the statistics for this, and they're literally like, I think Australia's the third country on the list of like most listeners. I think it's US first, then UK, and then Australia.
Nice.
And then I think about 30 other countries. Like, there's Philippines, there's everything. It's like, why? Good God. Anyway, so Benny asked, because we talked about this at I did a Q&A session at the Globetrotters camp, and it's about how this changes the criteria for getting a new belt. And that's become really difficult. Is when I had more of a technical mindset, it was kind of easy to get what kind of level people were.
Yeah.
But now, just running off balance and stability and posture, I don't know. I'm kind of.
I had this thought the other day myself, whilst you were away, because I was watching a couple of the lads who have been white belt for a while, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe. And then I'm thinking, like, what criteria can I judge these guys? Because if they're on top of me, it's very hard to get up. If I'm on top of them, like, they'll fucking fight till the death. Like, there's no technique like technical mindset. It's different now. I can't find the criteria. I'm trying to suss it out in my head. Like, how are we going to promote people?
Yeah, and I think there's a few things that have kind of maybe fucked it up a little bit for us in that. Weirdly, and considering I don't know how gyms are usually run and how we used to run, pushing this idea of not being there. Best way of wording it, not being out for just yourself. As in going to the gym thinking, Rob Bianacki, that podcast from a couple of weeks ago. He said it really well, that for most people, competition is who's in the gym. And I think that creates the worst environment about jiu-jitsu, is that there's always that hierarchy, there's always the leaderboard, there's always that league table that you see yourself when you walk in. And you're trying to climb the leaderboard and make sure that people underneath you don't overtake you. And that's how you essentially you're getting your belts, is you just keep climbing up that leaderboard and put more people underneath you. And all of a sudden, if someone bigger comes in, who will then use their size and strength to smash through you to climb that leaderboard, and people then get upset and like, this fucker's hurt me and stuff like that. It's like, well, at what point is this a team then? And to really like push that idea that no, fuck that, fuck the leaderboard, fuck the league table, fuck your personal gains. We're here for the team, and if we all work together and support each other and do the right thing by each other, the rising tide will raise all ships. And so, I don't know, is it communism? Did we invent communism?
Well, we implemented it into our gym.
Yeah. So we're doing constraint-led ecological approach learning and Karl Marx style sparring.
Mate,
We are Venezuela.
Tell him your nickname in the gym.
So we're North Korea. Chris Jong-un.
Chris Jong-un. The dictator.
Well, so we had quite a decent discussion about this because he was like unsure how the hell we're doing what we're doing. He even said like, I don't think there's anything I can give you guys now that you wouldn't just go, no, we don't need that. It doesn't work. It's supposed to be coming over next year. And we're all like, well, let's see what happens. But yeah, like we both kind of hit the agreement that you have to be on top. Like you have to be able to keep balance, stay upright. I mean, you watch him roll and he does it. He's always got posture and balance. And it should be something that everyone has from day one. And I said that you have to be a dictator on this. Because if you give people choice, they'll be lazy. And, we reaching that conclusion at the gym of the objectivity of it. As in, if people are happy to play guard, it's easier to sweep them. And so everyone just turns to shit then because people are falling over when you go for sweeps. So you have to be a bit of a dictator and say, no, sorry, you stay the fuck upright. That will make us all better if you stay the fuck upright. Because then we have to be more honest. And so, yeah, I know. I am Chris Jong-un, and this is North Korea Jiu-Jitsu. But it's working well.
Yeah, it is working well. And we've retained, our retention rate's been quite good. So it's not like we've lost people or new people come in and they've never come back.
I've noticed that the retention rate has actually improved since people are... Well, no, actually even the lower people now are getting better.
Yeah,
like the people who are less... Yeah, and that's, I think, because of the rising tide mentality of we're not keeping each other down anymore. We're the coaches and we're directing travel, but that's it. Like, there's no separation of belts. There's no hierarchy. There's not like, white belts over here, purple belts over here. Like, no, we're all together and we'll play to each other's level to raise each other up. Instead of thinking, oh, this guy tapped me, he's only a white belt, or, oh, I'm a brown belt, why is this blue belt giving me a hard time? Like, no, fuck that. Because then there's always going to be size disparities, strength disparities, age disparities. And when there's an absolute league table, people get injured, people get sad. And I know, the old mentality used to be dog eat dog, but I think this is the healthiest approach. And it came out accident.
Yeah, complete accident.
Well, I think it's because now we start doing more takedowns and more physicality. You had to be more wary of your partners.
Yeah.
Like when there's that leaderboard, it's kind of like there's that unspoken agreement that we'll stay on the floor just to keep safe.
Yeah. Nobody gives a fuck now. They don't care how good you are. They're going to fucking get up and take you down.
Yeah. Well, no, but take you down nicely, as in,
oh, slam cam.
Care about the other person. Yeah, we have slam cam, but they get put down nicely.
Yeah, they do.
And people get to play, and that rising tide mentality has, I think, made everyone healthier in the gym and kept that retention rate and made it more of that team environment. And I think that's really important. We call them a team. We all have teams. It's why we can't be an Olympic sport, because we can't get over the idea of a fucking team. But as soon as you're in the gym, it's a leaderboard, it's a league table, and you fight to keep your pace on the league table. It's why we have, I think, stripes on black belts. As in, it's a way of, you think, a black belt's supposed to be a badass, but at a certain point, you get old. and you're going to get your head kicked in by younger, a nightmare for me to deal with. No, I don't mind getting tapped by them, but a 22-year-old brown belt, like an athletic, competitive 22-year-old brown belt, pain in the ass for my 36-year-old black belt ass. It's because they see your black belt and they go, I want to scalp a black belt today. They must be mystical people.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm a human being. I'm 36 years old. Like, you're going to kick the shit out of me. I'm just getting older. By the time, in 10 years' time, when I'm 46, fighting 22-year-old brown belts, I'm probably going to tap all the goddamn time. So how do I keep my relevance? I get stripes on my black belt the longer I'm at it. It's how old black belts keep relevant, when, in fact, they probably get the shit kicked out of them by most athletic blue belts. I rolled with Silver Fox whilst I was in Heidelberg. The guy's what, a 4th or 5th degree black belt, but he's in his 60s. And like, so, we rolled. It was an intelligent, technical roll. But if I went ham, just bang, I would have snapped his ass. Like, I probably would have killed him. But does that mean he's not good? No, he's very technical. He knows his shit. But age is a thing.
Athleticism plays a massive part.
It's a sport.
Yeah, it's a sport, exactly.
At some point, Messi, as good as he is going to get old, and some 22-year-old is going to do him over. This is the way it works.
He'll have to retire.
Watch tennis long enough.
Yeah. This is why
Exactly.
they retire, they don't they? Like, this is life. It's one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sport. You can't keep it forever.
Yeah.
And especially if you've got your ability to coach is poor. How else do you keep relevance and keep making money? You just put tabs on your black belt. It's all right. You're going to get yours soon.
I'm nowhere near it.
2.5 years?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
2.5 years. It passes fast.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling when you get your black belt, isn't it? Because like, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else to get.
Well, for me, we just restarted. I went back to white belt. Like, that's how I felt. All the changes happened.
Do you know what your black belt is?
Yeah, in my bag.
Do you ever wear it?
Sometimes. I
took mine with me for this entire trip. Didn't wear it once.
I don't know, man. I think winter's coming up, ain't it? So probably a bit more gi.
Doesn't mean shit. You didn't wear your black belt last time we had cold weather.
I don't wear.
You just put your gi on.
Yeah, I don't put a belt on.
That was it. I know we don't.
Oh shit!
Who gives a shit?
I know exactly.
And that's like circling back around to this whole thing about like promotions and stuff. It does make it difficult because you think in the gym, you wouldn't. Is there a need to promote in the gym if you have this communist mentality? No, like maybe for competitions, purposes,
yeah.
but I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, and if people then get pissy, like, oh, I'm not getting stripes or I'm not getting a belt in the gym. We're a single unit. Like, we've chucked it out. We don't believe it anymore.
Yeah, but then you get
Could
people
you imagine
going
giving
out.
Stripes?
Oh, we never did stripes anyway, but I think it'd be the case of like, say someone's been doing it 5-6 years and they're still technically a white belt. You know what I mean? It might be the case.
We have those.
Yeah, we do.
We have people who are very good, like, very, very skilled people on the mats. Never given them a belt.
Yeah.
Do you need one? Yeah, and I think it's, again, the belt is another signifier, the hierarchy of the gym that then creates this toxic environment. And yeah, I think it's helpful when it comes to competing because, you're competing against people of a roughly similar skill set to you. And I think that's our job from here on out is to essentially have people compete and go, right, did you win? Did you lose?
Yeah.
If you won, you go up. If you didn't win, you stay where you are.
I think that's what it's going to be now.
But in the gym, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't want a hierarchy anymore. I want people who can explain their jiu-jitsu. Absolutely, I don't give a fuck who that is. I mean, shit, the amount of times that we've had the blue belts or whatever, like previous blue belts, as in blue belts from when we were in our capitalist state before we flicked to communism, like, captains of industry, and now they are anyone who can. Well, then again, no, because you think the morning sessions are run by Chris, the white belt.
Yeah.
Who cares? He's good. He knows his stuff. He's eager. I don't care who the fuck runs it. Does it have to be a black belt? As long as someone understands jiu-jitsu and can explain it and keep the regime running.
Yeah, just a person in charge. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck hierarchy. We need someone to direct it, but after that, fuck the hierarchy. We've transcended past belts now. We've circled back around to submission wrestling. It was funny. So hearing people play this, especially at the camp, and whispering in a few ears, hey, how about you don't fall over? How about you stay upright? How about you stay balanced? I've heard reports about that people have gone, oh, so you're a wrestler. So if I stay upright and don't fall over the time, it makes me a wrestler. What does that make jiu-jitsu people?
Yeah, that's a bad one. That is, if you think about it.
It's kind of funny.
That's why I do. Whenever somebody talks to me like, "Oh, are you jiu-jitsu?" I'm like, "Look, yeah, I'm graded in jiu-jitsu, but I don't do jiu-jitsu." You know what I mean? I do a range of grappling arts.
Well, no, because then jiu-jitsu is just the rule set.
Yeah.
But even then, jiu-jitsu rule set has morphed over time to include leg locks, which weren't there initially. So grappling, I think we only use the term BJJ in jiu-jitsu because it's the marketable colloquial term. Yeah. But grappling, we grapple. Yeah. If it involves not striking, we probably do it. But then we include striking every now and then. Shout out to Eddie Bravo. I'd be interested because I don't know many other gyms that kind of maybe use this mentality. So if anyone's listening to this, I love hearing people feedback after listening to this. Have you tried communism? Have you tried? Maybe that's not the right term. Maybe we use socialism.
Yeah, socialism sounds better.
Yeah.
Viva Jeremy Corbyn.
Democratic socialism. Not communism. But you still need a dictator. I'm interested to see what other people's thoughts are and if they've tried anything like this and if it would help. Or if they want to implement it. If you want to implement it and you want ideas on how to be a dictator to impose your socialist regime, just hit me up on Instagram.
That's our next DVD, Chris. You got the title there. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the Americans losing their mind?
Dude, that's a DVD that ain't selling a single one.
They're burning them.
Oh, I think you're onto something. I think the next DVD for fanatics is how to become a dictator and impose a socialist regime. Dan, I have ideas. Maybe not. Can't even say it's late. Usually we record these late in the evening, but it's relatively early and we're already talking about socialism. Maybe we need to do things later so we don't actually go down this route. I have noticed I'm wearing red. It's the sign of a socialist. Yeah, I do. Bringing it back, I think it is unhealthy. I think the hierarchy needs to be abolished. The patriarchy, bring it down. Maybe I haven't even seen Barbie. But maybe I need to. I'll get some ideas. So also, you haven't met him. Josh's dad, Steve McKinney, has just released a DVD on 15-minute workouts for BJJ, or a website. I highly recommend. I haven't seen it, but knowing Steve, I think it needs to be checked out because Steve McKinney, god damn, he is a cruel man. Yeah, it's the only time I've ever felt like after a 15-minute workout that I was going to die.
Oh,
so
gotta check it out then.
Shout out to Steve McKinney. Yeah, if you're interested in jiu-jitsu fitness, I think that's what I want to lead on to is How did you feel fitness-wise for this fight?
Oh, I was good, man. This is what I mean. Like, my fitness was good, cardio, everything was good. Like, the only thing that could have gone wrong went wrong, which is my focus. You know what I mean? Or whatever it was, whatever you want to call it.
Discipline.
Yeah, that's the one. Discipline. Yes.
Discipline. And that's, again, why we need a dictator, to enforce discipline
Sí, hombre.
in these socialist republics.
Sí, hombre. Okay, Fidel.
Fidel Castro.
There you go. Fidel Castro. That's the new one now. I'm going to change your name up from the villain to Fidel Castro.
Well, I'm actually trying to figure out, like, new T-shirts. So I did one. I was testing out the fabric and stuff like that, and how it's going to come across. And I'm definitely going down this route. It's Fidel Castro now. Oh, fuck. Right. Okay. That went sideways. Yeah. So fitness was good. That's one thing I noticed rolling in Germany. It's the first time. Okay, I blew my back out on day 5. Not in a roll, dicking around with Charles's girlfriend Natasha. So you've met them both, and when Natasha isn't there, I am surrogate Natasha to Charles Harriott black belt, and so we the reason I got injured is that I think we tried to make a Power Rangers Megazord of, like, she climbed up my shoulders, so we became Super Natasha to impose upon Charles, and I've been rolling with black belts and brown belts and all these kind of people, for 4 days, and I get my back blown out making a Power Rangers Megazord to intimidate Charles Harriott. But before that, my fitness was fantastic. Fitter than I felt in a very long time. I've been wearing my Fitbit, and it kind of, like, Fitbit, Pixel Watch, whatever. And it kind of tracks my resting heart rate, like, average. It's come down by about 6 beats per minute.
Wow. Since when?
March.
Wow. That's mad.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, it's I used to be averaging around about Christmas, January time, February, March. I was averaging 64, 65. I'm now averaging about 56.
Fucking hell.
57. I know. I'm like, holy hell. Who knew that hard cardio would improve my resting heart rate and my general fitness?
Yeah, it's the intensity, man, in the gym now.
Yeah, I think it was the intensity in the gym that made me realize, holy shit, I need to go. If this is an athletic sport, I need to now go and do some athletic work.
Put some extra work in.
Yeah, I mean, I do 20 minutes of 150 to 180 cardio, probably about 5 times a week, plus weights, along with jiu-jitsu. So it's an extra. And it always, no matter how, I never keep to the same like level on the equipment. I'm always checking my heart to make sure it's always in that range. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I have to live in that area. And yeah, it's I didn't feel tired whatsoever whilst I was away. I actually got worried that I was like, man, I need to go and find a gym. I need to go and do some cardio.
No, it's good, man. It's good. I've noticed that as well. My cardio is completely different. I didn't have any issues cardio-wise.
When Geer is one of our blue belts from the capitalist regime period, and he cardio tapped me. Like, he pressured me enough. It went for my neck, and I just didn't have anything in me to fight back. I was like, God damn, need to fix this. It's a shameful moment.
Yeah, but
I'm
lessons
willing
learned.
to admit shame.
Lessons learned.
Yeah, lessons learned. It was cardio. So yeah, I think Steve McKinney needs to be checked out, because those guys are. I mean, Josh is built like a squirrel. He's just shredded, and he does well in competition. So he's got some good cardio. So his dad, Steve McKinney, also a black belt. He's also built like a squirrel. just muscular and shredded. Definitely check out Steve McKinney.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing as well about fitness for jiu-jitsu is back in the gym after 3 or 4 years out, I've been lifting, heavy, trying to get big, etc., etc. Then realizing that it doesn't help. But isometric strength, holding steady. So after all this time, gymnastics.
Yeah.
Gymnastics and rock climbing, bouldering, holding those shapes and that posture and that balance on a wall or on floor of gymnastics, way better for jiu-jitsu strength. What are your thoughts? Because you're a pretty strong guy.
Am I?
Like, you could probably bench a lot.
No, I don't bench. I very rarely bench. Like I don't do PR and PBs and all that bollocks. I don't believe in that shit, especially for what we do, because we're not there to break PBs or anything. Are we really? We're just trying to progress. So, no, you'll be surprised. I have been doing rings for about a year, the gymnastic rings.
Oh,
yeah. So
nice.
that's why
so not too dissimilar.
No, so that's why I've come away a bit from bouldering. So I thought I'm going to concentrate on that. So yeah, man, that's where my shape is changing a lot because of the rings. I haven't really made that public before, but yeah, I'm doing.
Interesting.
Yeah. I do them once a week, definitely, but I try to get them in 3 times a week at least. But once is defo, like without question, once a week. And even that, mate, fucks you up, especially when you're doing grappling, rings, striking. You're fucked.
I think it'd be interesting, maybe, because we're now we've got some decent equipment for recording. Holy hell! The equipment now for recording videos, it's all fantastic. When we get these new videos coming out, like we're going to record some this week, just you wait for the audio quality. Before, it sounded like we were held underwater a mile away, and now it's crystal, and and the quality of the video. Good Lord. Maybe we should film our workouts.
Yeah.
Like a workout jiu-jitsu video. What do we do for working out in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, why not?
Try and stick some of Steve McKinney's work. Make these 15-minute workouts. Something to consider.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out, actually.
Yeah, the guy's smart. The guy knows what he's doing. The guy's intelligent.
Good.
Yeah, so that's something we can consider. Anyone listen to this who thinks that, maybe some fitness tips as well from these 2 relatively unathletic people? Because the other one I was following was like Martin Rooney, his Warrior Cardio for Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So, that's one. So a few of the lads in the gym who are looking at competing, that's the kind of protocol that I gave them. I said, just buy that book, and it brought their cardio on no end. Even if they then told me that they sometimes smoke, they still had good cardio. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you should stop smoking as well and get even better.
Well, yeah, don't smoke tobacco. Don't waste your time with that shit. There's better things.
I've never smoked.
There's better things to smoke.
I've never smoked anything. I just ran into fire and just took lungfuls of crap.
Carbon monoxide.
Repeatedly. Oh, that's the thing. So after so you go into a fire wearing the breathing apparatus and do all that kind of jazz. But then once the fire was out, you go in to scoop out the burnt stuff and chuck it out the window or something, rid out. But you wouldn't wear breathing apparatus for that. And there's obviously, it's still creating crap in the air. You're breathing that in. Or grass fires, this time of year, I'd be out in the fields for 2 weeks putting out forest fires and grass fires. You don't wear, we're out there all goddamn day. You don't wear any breathing protection. You go back and you just blow your nose and it's just black. So I imagine I've probably had more lung damage than any smoker. One reason to quit. Firefighting, not smoking. Firefighting's bad for you. It would be interesting to actually find out if that actually ever affected my cardio. Maybe that's why I feel better now. It's not that I've actually done more cardio in the gym. I just not in the fire
don't
service
inhale
anymore.
fumes.
Yeah, I don't suck on fumes all day, every day. Who knows? Who have we got coming up? We've got Stefan Kesting, also a firefighter. Interesting. Explains the mustache. Firefighters love mustaches. And Lachlan Giles.
Oh, yes.
Emily Kwok. Mia Katsu, hopefully should be on.
Nice.
Kit Dale,
Nice.
hopefully. Charles Harriott. Jordan Pressinger. Jordan teaches jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. That I was thinking about that then.
What? I know. Man, there's going to be so many... This podcast. Anyone listen to it now? You're there. You're a hipster. You were there before it got cool. It was just us.
Yeah.
Like, discussing socialism. I'm glad to have Reap the Week back.
No, it's good, man. I've been telling you for ages, we need it, man. We need it.
I know, it's like some sort of therapy session. Like, we have our little, physical therapy session.
Yeah.
And then we have our emotional therapy. Emotional therapy session. And it's good for us. I'll let you to your evening. This has been a fun return to Reap the Week. Check out the upcoming podcasts. So we record this on the Wednesday night this time. Usually on Tuesday. Sorry, Patreon. It would have come out today. So it'll be, if anyone listening on the Thursday morning, send us ideas on Discord, Instagram, Facebook. I don't reply to any of it. Just I read it. So yeah, any other things you want to talk to us about? Want us to talk about? Questions for us? If you want to try socialism or being a dictator, highly recommend it. Hit us up on those channels. I've highly recommend Linktree, Naki. Like sticking all your links together. I put it on the top of my Instagram, and useful app.
Oh,
anyway,
thank you.
This has been Reap the Week with Naki El Jefe Arshed and Chris Paines.
Oh,
any final words, Nak?
Hasta la vista, baby.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.